Good morning, guys. If you're in the United States, good morning. If you're in Europe, good afternoon. We're a game late. Fritz got out of that service game. Save break point, that's what Fritz does. He's incredibly hard to break. Shelton wasn't able to do it. Had 4 break chances. Didn't face a single break chance on his own serve. Ends up losing the match anyway. How brutal is that? Reminds me of the Stich Edberg semifinal in Wimbledon. What year was that? I wish I could rattle off the year. Maybe it was 1991. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Stich won that match even though he lost serve and was unable to break Edberg. So that's grass court tennis sometimes. But we can expect this one to potentially go into tie breaks because both of these guys, 2 of the best servers on tour. And it's a very interesting matchup because, quite frankly, Fritz has had Zverev's number. He's beaten 5 times in a row, including at the Grand Slam level. There was a Labour Cup win as well. Last time they played was on grass in Stuttgart last year, so it was a straight set win for Zverev. So this will be a difficult match for Zverev. It will be very difficult. Fritz, I'm already putting him as one of the guys to look out for in Wimbledon because he's a fantastic grass court player. Last year, made the semifinals, took a set off of Alcaraz. Was a tighter match than the score suggests, He's the type of guy that can challenge Sinner and Alcaraz. Maybe not Sinner necessarily, but Alcaraz potentially. He can play with them. I'm not saying he can take him out. Okay, he's far from that. He's in the same boat as Zverev in that regard. It's a little bit different, the matchups. I think Zverev plays Alcaraz well, but Fritz against both Sinner and Alcaraz, it's tough for him at the Grand Slam level, but he can play with them. He can hang with them from the baseline. Zverev is a phenomenal baseline player and has one of the best serves on tour. Not known for his net skills, but quite frankly, he doesn't really rely on them that much because he's so rock solid backing up his serve that 1-2 punch is so spectacular, like he did on this rally. Huge serve and then a forehand put away. 15 love. So he's going to be tough to break for Zverev. And on top of all that, this surface is one of the fastest surfaces, if not the fastest surface on the ATP Tour. So it's going to be a very interesting match. I plan to live stream the Yala Noskova semifinal, but it's raining in Berlin. Sabalenka and Pegula are still playing. Pegula won the first set, the second set tiebreak. So the way, unfortunately, I'm going to have to do this is I'm going to have to abandon this match once that other one starts. And hopefully the rain delay is long enough so I don't have to abandon this match. I will try. Well, I'm not going to abandon it just from a video standpoint. I'm going to close this one, open up a new live stream that's already scheduled. And I'm going to continue to watch this match and commentate on it. But see, I've been trying to have simultaneous, it's very complicated, simultaneous live streams off of 2 different thumbnails, right? So I have this one, it's a separate video. I have the Yala Noskova match, a separate video. To put both videos into one stream, it's just a little bit complex, It's a little bit difficult to figure out, especially on the fly like this. So what I'm going to do is, once Yala Noskova starts, I'll abandon this. You join me over there on another video, and we'll keep watching this match alongside the Yala Noskova match. But maybe we won't have to because it's still raining in Berlin. The cover is still up. It doesn't seem to be raining though because I don't see any umbrellas. So we shall see. This will be an absolute battle, I think. This match will be absolutely brutal. Early on, Zverev with more looks on the Fritz serve. So, you know, people have brought up a question in my videos about Zverev after Roland Garros, whether now that he's won a Grand Slam, whether this will unlock him and whether it'll loosen him up and whether he's going to perform better. And I certainly think there could be some truth to it. This will be a test right here if he can win Halle, which he has never been able to do. I certainly think that he could play with even more confidence, even though his results have been very solid. Other than Acapulco, he's made a semifinal in every tournament he's played. But I don't think it changes anything in regards to him facing Jannik Sinner. Carlos Alcaraz, Novak Djokovic, you know, these are question marks right now. We don't know how Alcaraz is going to come back, hopefully at the same level that he had when he had to stop playing. And in regards to Djokovic, you know, it's difficult to analyze that. I would still give Djokovic the edge, you know, but it depends on so many factors where Djokovic has played long matches, you know, so that one requires like analysis with context. So my point is Zverev could get more dominant against the rest of the tour, with the exception of Sinner and Alcaraz, with that Roland Garros win. But unfortunately, I don't think it changes the fact that he has to come through Sinner to win a slam, and I don't think he will be able to do that. And he gets the break against Fritz there. Fritz struggling early, giving some unforced errors there. This would be a huge win for Zverev right here to take out Fritz. And like I said, this would be a statement, you know, against the rest of the tour, that he separates himself a little bit, because he's made that statement, which was a poor statement. Let's not sugarcoat it. He, after the Madrid final, I think, or before the Madrid final, he said, I think it was before the Madrid final, he said that there's a difference between Sinner and Alcaraz and himself. So he put himself on the same level as Alcaraz, and then the rest of the tour, which is an incorrect statement. In his mind, it makes sense because he has played Alcaraz close. I get what he's saying there, but from a results standpoint, it's a ridiculous statement. So there's a big separation between Sinner and Alcaraz and the rest of the tour. You can see that on the point differentials, and it's just the rankings don't lie. Okay, so there's a huge gap between Sinner, Alcaraz, and the rest of the tour, undoubtedly. But is there really a huge gap between Zverev and the rest of the tour? The gap is way smaller between Zverev and the rest of the tour, and the gap between Zverev and Sinner and Alcaraz. It's a way smaller differential. So with this Roland Garros win, I think he could widen that gap between himself and the rest of the tour. Guys like Fritz, guys like Shelton, guys like FAA, and so on. He could widen that gap now, because I don't think the gap was that wide. It was a discrepancy there. I do think Zverev, the best player behind Sinner and Alcaraz. Again, we're taking Djokovic out of the equation, because Djokovic, you know, again, we're not going to, you know, I have the ultimate respect for Djokovic even nowadays, because he was in a final of a Grand Slam this year. So I'm never going to count this guy out, especially not on grass. But let's just talk without Djokovic. This is an opportunity for Zverev to distance himself. And can he do something against Sinner that's different? You know, I think it's the surface dependent. So ironically, I think the faster the surface, the more advantages there are going to be for Zverev, even though that doesn't apply to his career overall. I think on a slow surface, Zverev obviously just won Roland Garros, was in a final before, you know. He won the Rome title, won the Hamburg title, won Madrid, was in a final there 4 times. This guy loves clay courts. Slower surfaces suit his style, his natural way of playing, but not against Sinner, because against Sinner he cannot survive in the baseline rallies. He's going to have to keep the point short, and there on a fast surface he's going to have an advantage. For example, the Vienna final, right? The Vienna final, we lost 7-5 in the third. That's an example. So I think on a court like that, I do give him some chances against Sinner to keep it close. But when the surface is slower, even on a slower hardcourt surface, I see very, very limited chances for Zverev against Sinner, even with the Roland Garros title. So that's a long story about Zverev, and the covers are off at Berlin, so my broadcast is about to get chaotic here. So let's see what happens. We're going to keep an eye on everything, guys. Anna, good morning. Well, it's not good morning for you. Good afternoon. Yeah, Sabalenka and Pegula are suspended. I know. I told everyone already that yeah, I'm going to have to abandon this stream and hop over to the other one once that match starts. Very difficult to see the ball with the, the roof is throwing off a shadow on the court. That's always been a problem in Halle in sunny conditions. It's 15:30. Here's a question for you. Fit and fine, Nola versus Zverev. I still think Djokovic wins. I agree with you, Anna. Of course Djokovic wins. There's no doubt in my mind that that Djokovic is going to be the favorite there. It's clear, absolutely clear. But again, with Djokovic, it's complicated. It depends. It depends on so many factors because he's almost 40 years old. You know what I mean? Big point right here for Zverev to get out of this little hole that he got into at 15:30, and he does so with a humongous serve down the tee, 30 all. Do you think Carlos needs to play smaller tournaments before Masters 1000 events in the U.S. Open? The problem is well, he could play Washington. Yeah. Now that you say that, I was going to say no, but he could play Washington. That's a 500. That's a big tournament. Big serve there from Zverev, out wide, 40-30. That would make sense to play Washington. The beautiful forehand passing shot from Fritz right there. And back to deuce. Fritz is such a good baseline player. I think it's underrated. If you watch his matches against Sinner, Alcaraz, and Djokovic, the guy, or even against Nadal, the guy can hang from the baseline with those guys. He's an exceptional baseline player. Another big serve from Zverev. That's what it'll do all day long. He'll deliver these humongous serves with an insane percentage, Zverev. How about a Zverev Altmaier final? That'd be good for German tennis. There's a hold from Zverev, 3-1. Great start from Zverev in this one. Altmaier will have a difficult time against Tiafoe, though. He's 0-4 against Tiafoe. And Tiafoe is playing well, serving well, hitting big. Tiafoe is good on grass. It's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough. But maybe with the crowd support and the confidence that he got from beating Medvedev, maybe he can do something. He's certainly a capable player. Incredible backhand. Very good forehand, too. He can come in. He likes coming in on all surfaces, Altmaier. So that's going to be an interesting match to watch for sure. Zverev with the unforced errors on the forehand off a slice. Love 15. Zverev clearly the better player early in this match. This court is tough to play on. This is they're way faster than Wimbledon. So matches like yesterday, not a surprise. Like Collignon, Zverev, no breaks. Fritz, Shelton, no breaks. There's a nice wide serve from Fritz right there. Low numbers. People perhaps are not aware of the change in streaming. I think they are still waiting for your Berlin stream. Look, I don't know. I really don't know. Be honest with you, I think scheduling the stream surely does help, but when I see how many people are waiting in there, it's not that many. So like yesterday, for example, it was almost nobody in there when I was streaming Ayala. And then that's a nice hold from Fritz right there. Still down a break though, 3-2. It was like 20-something people in there for a good while, and then all of a sudden it like jumped, and it went close to 200, like out of nowhere. So maybe it was over 200. So people found it later, so that can certainly happen. But I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's like, it's so weird with the streams. I guess I just have to keep doing them so people know that I'm doing them. I do them sporadically, which, you know, it doesn't help the algorithm. So when I get on a roll, hopefully it's going to get a little bit more. But even if it stays like it is right now, combination, different type of videos that I do on my channel, it's not all about the live streams, obviously. It's my regular content as well. So I'm really not stressing too much about it. But yeah, like I said, I've had a lot of people in a lot of matches, and it's been really fun. So I'm not too stressed about the numbers. I try to schedule it. I do think that helps. And obviously, like, if you guys like watching matches with me, the more you can interact, the more you can hit that bell or whatever, and then I think you do get notified, and YouTube will recommend my videos when they're live. So we will see about that down the road, how it goes. But again, I'm not stressing. Not stressing at all. I'm super satisfied the way it is right now. I got Zverev in straight sets. Yeah, looks like it right now. I think he'll serve out this first set. I don't see him dropping serve. Second set, I think, is going to get more complicated, but you never know. It would be huge for Zverev to get his first grass title, though, especially at this tournament. You know, it's such an important tournament for German players. This was the original grass court tournament in Germany. This tournament's been around for quite a while. Even Becker played this thing. Like Connors played this thing. Like this tournament's been around for quite a while, and this is a legendary club, Halle. I played in Germany. I grew up in Germany, an hour away from Halle. This is Ostwestfalen, and I was in a little bit more west, but not far. And we played many times against Halle, the club. Beautiful passing shot there from Taylor Fritz off a slice approach from Zverev. Love 15. Still drying the courts in Berlin. First serve miss from Zverev. Second serve. So hard to see the ball right now. The sun is so bright. On the far side, on the right side, far side, it's almost impossible to see the ball. Love 30. Unforced error from Zverev on the backhand side. I wonder how Sinner will bounce back after the Roland Garros disaster if he can win Wimbledon again. He will bounce back, but certainly I think they worked on solving whatever that was. They worked on it. I mean, he did go to the hospital. They worked on solving the problems. So I expect Sinner to continue to improve and look for solutions, I think he's going to be okay. Literally cannot see the ball on that side. So bright. And Zverev sails the slice wide. Love 40. If you speak German, at what level? I'm a bit curious because you lived there before. Yeah, I grew up in Germany. I moved there when I was 9. So my German is my best language. It's better than my English or my Croatian, just because I spent very important years in Germany, going through school and everything. And then until 2021, I would go back to Germany once a year or twice a year, every year. And even now, I don't necessarily go back to where I used to live, but I go to the Alps. And there's a break for Fritz. Love break, if you can believe this. Wow. Zverev with some unforced errors in this one, but it started with that pass, forehand pass on the first point. And we're back on serve. So yeah, my German is good. Is good. Since I've been here for so long in the United States, it can get a little bit rusty, but then once I'm in Germany for like 2-3 days, then it goes back to normal. I even have a German channel, German YouTube channel. I haven't uploaded on there in a while, but I did plan to do some podcast style videos there in German, but it's just I haven't had a chance to do it yet. Fritz on fire right now, 30 love, ace out wide. Fritz is tough on grass, man. This guy can ball. The thing with Fritz is on the return games, he gets the return in play, and then he grinds you from the baseline. So he's going to make you play on your own service games. You can look at that a couple of different angles. Maybe, and Zverev with the backhand overhead misses it. That's a tough shot right there, 40 love. You can look at the fact that Fritz likes to chip the return and just get it back in play from a couple of different angles. It's good against a lot of opponents, but then it can be also bad against a Sinner or an Alcaraz, because you don't want to let those guys play, Those guys are so good off the serve +1, that's just not going to be enough. So there he's forced to. He should be forcing himself to be more aggressive. But against everybody else, the way he plays, that's why he's a top 5 player. I mean, not right now. He's dropped in the rankings, but he's a top 5 player because he's one of the best servers on tour, and he can play with anybody from the baseline. An aggressive baseliner. He's just rock solid. Underrated, in my opinion, Taylor Fritz. I don't think he gets enough credit. Somewhat similar to Zverev. But to think now that's going to fall off, the Zverev criticism. I've talked about this so many times prior to Roland Garros. Telling people that how good Zverev is, and you can't you got to separate whatever you think of him, privately, separate that from his tennis, because his tennis speaks for itself. And he's achieved incredible things. And Zverev, I would not say that it's the same. I do think that Zverev has had a much better career than Fritz, but Fritz should get more credit. He's an incredible player, and he's been at the top of the game for a while now. So the problem is, though, for American players, is that they're always judged in comparison to the Sampras, Agassi, Chang, Courier, Connors, McEnroe, Roddick. And even Roddick was, if you remember, Roddick was compared to Sampras Agassi and was written about in a negative way, even though he did reach #1 and did win a Grand Slam. But I remember the coverage on Roddick was often very negative back then, just because he wasn't as accomplished of a player as Sampras and Agassi. So now you compare the current generation of fantastic players like Shelton, Fritz, Paul, and so on. You compare those guys to Roddick, and it's like they're not even close to Roddick, right? So that's what they're measured against, unfortunately. And then it's often very negative in the media when these players are discussed. But if you just take these players, especially Fritz, and don't make any comparisons with other American former greats, these are some incredible players we're talking about. Like Fritz, just a solid top 10 players for many years, top 5 player. Masters 1000 champion in Indian Wells. Guy can play with any of these guys, So yeah, I think he does deserve more respect. 4-3 Fritz first set. Zverev serving, misses the first serve into the net. Second serve. Big second serve there from Zverev. Another slice approach shot. Hits that one better than the one on the first point of the previous game. But Fritz with the backhand lob. That slice approach shot not doing Zverev too many favors in this match, even though he did hit this one way better than the first point in the previous service game. And again, it's love 15. What a turnaround on this one. I remember you guys were saying Zverev going to win in straight sets. Doesn't look like it right now. Second serve. I've been watching for 1 to 2 years now. It's crazy to know that we could theoretically communicate even better in German. We could do that. I do have some German friends here in Florida, and I keep in touch with a lot of my German buddies back in Germany. I even have a lot of students in Germany, actually, a ton. Like where I coach remotely. I have a certification from my teaching methodology, and I have let's see how many, there's Lual. I don't know if you guys know Lual. Lual did my certification, and he's been learning my methodology for a long time, and he's doing really well on Instagram right now. So Lual I talk to all the time, and there's a few other guys in the creator space in Germany that I'm friends with. And you know, that's where I grew up playing tennis. Like I know more people in Germany in the tennis space than I do anywhere else. The big serve from Zverev right there, 30-15. Still not on the court here, Sabalenka and Pegula, but they will be soon, I think. The court looks ready. They stopped blowing it, so looks like it's dry. Today I will try to watch the Marty Fish documentary. Oh, that's an excellent one. That's a great choice. I'll put it in the top 5 documentaries all time tennis. Put that one, put Love Means Zero with Balotelli, put Becker. I'll put Rafa in there. And there's one more, The Journeyman. That's an old one with a couple of guys that were like ranked lower and they were trying to make it on the ATP Tour. Those 5 spring into mind. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few other ones, but there's some good tennis documentaries, yeah. Not that many great tennis movies. 30 all right here. Either break point Fritz or game point Zverev. In a rally, deep backhand from Zverev, and he hits a forehand into the net. Break point Fritz. Yeah, the Marty Fish documentary is very touching. It's a good one. Really good. Roddick's in there too. Roddick's a good guy. I think Roddick is a really good guy. At least it comes across that way. And Zverev puts away the volley. Saves break point. Has not had much success coming in, Zverev. But he's unhappy with something here, sitting down. Something's going on with Zverev. There's something going on with Zverev. You know, ever since like he got the break, he has looked a little bit off, Zverev, just body language wise. So let's see what's going on with him. He just sat down in the middle of the game, so he's got to be something serious. Maybe he's not feeling well. It looks very hot in Germany. What's going on with the weather? What is going on with the weather, guys, in Europe? When I lived in Germany, it used to get hot, of course, but like, you know, it would be like once in a blue moon and it wouldn't last. Like, it would last a couple of weeks and then it'd go back to normal. But it looks like the weather is changing, huh? We're going to get a hot Wimbledon? How's that going to affect guys? Remember Roland Garros? That was so brutal. Are we going to get the same thing in Wimbledon again? The hot Wimbledon? I remember back in the day when they didn't have a roof. It was so irritating in Wimbledon, all the rain delays and all that. Don't have to worry about that because we got roofs, but also it doesn't seem to rain as much anymore. So concerning for Zverev, what's going on right here? He's going off the court, I think, is he? Yeah, he's going off the court for a medical. Zverev not feeling well. Oh, it's hot Mallorca 35. Well, that's to be expected. You know, Mallorca, like, my mom is in Croatia right now, and it's hot there too. It can get very hot in Croatia as well, but Germany, I just remember it differently. Like, you know, the summers were so bad in Germany, so bad. You know, sometimes you would get a summer with like no warm weather. You get like a couple of days of nice hot weather, but that's it. Like the rest of it would be like, I don't know, like 15 to 20 degrees Celsius and raining all the time. So anyway, is an MTO allowed during a game, or should the game be fortified to get the MTO? Oh boy, to look into the rules, but the MTO thing is allowed, I think, on your server. I don't know exactly. Look it up in the rule book, but it's definitely allowed. I don't think Zverev will lose this game or have to forfeit this game. What is happening? Why is the game stopped? Zverev is not feeling well. He's not looking good out there. Something's wrong with him. No injury. It looks more like that he's feeling sick or something. Something like that. So he's took a medical timeout. It was interesting because he started well, went up a break, and then he dropped serve to love, and he did look a little bit low intensity. And this continued into this game as well here. And Fritz just sitting there. Let's check the weather in Halle Westfalen. I got an interesting Halle story for you guys. You want to hear it? Want to hear a Halle story? I'll tell it to you guys. Why has Fritz been a bad matchup for Z? It's so hard to say. I don't think it's anything specific in Fritz's game that's hurting Zverev. It's more of a mental thing. The last time Zverev beat him was in Rome in 2024, and since then he lost a couple of tight ones. And it's just got into his head, I think. It's just nothing specific in Fritz's game that Zverev shouldn't be able to handle, So I think it's more of a mental thing. Okay, let's see here. There's two Halles in Germany, by the way. There's Halle an der Saale, and there's the Halle in Westfalen. Whoa, 89 degrees. Wow. 89 degrees. Okay. That's hot. That's hot. It's going to stay hot. It's going to be 94 degrees in Halle on Wednesday. 94 degrees. It's going to stay hot for like the entire, for another 2 weeks, I think it looks like. Crazy, crazy. Very unusual. Will Sasha retire in this match? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. I think these type of things have maybe sometimes a better chance of recovery, as opposed to an acute injury where there's zero chance of recovery. Things like this sometimes can get better. You can start feeling better. Maybe take some medication. Maybe it's something that can improve on its own sometimes. I've seen it many times with players. Maybe it's heat related, even though it wouldn't make a lot of sense for it to happen in the beginning of the first set. So I don't know. All of Europe is on alert because of heat. That's crazy. That's really crazy. I mean, look, I'm here in Florida, and it's horrible too, but it's so interesting to me to see temperatures higher everywhere else, because here it doesn't really get over 90 that often. It stays between 85 and 90. Humidity is brutal here, so when you go on a court here in Southeast Florida in the summer, like after 5 minutes, you're completely drenched and it's borderline unplayable because of the humidity. But Yeah, it's so funny to me to look at the temperatures and they're like higher everywhere else compared to the place where it's supposed to be hot, like here, you know? Yeah, can you guys imagine if we get a hot Wimbledon, which it looks like we're going to get? It's you know what? If this continues, like honestly, I think this might be a problem for the ATP Tour. I'm serious. Just think about the tournaments in Washington. Zverev comes back without a shirt. He's walking a little bit better. I don't think he's about to shake hands. He's going to keep playing Zverev. Think about the tournaments in Washington and Cincinnati. Those two tournaments, I think down the road, those might become unplayable. Because when you combine heat and humidity, I've always believed that professional tennis would be impossible in the summer months in Florida. I've always believed that. It would be guys like, it would be like Roland Garros early rounds, like times 10. It would be, everybody would be full body cramps. Maybe some guys would be okay, some players would be okay, but I think they're gonna run into problems on the ATP Tour with the weather. They're gonna have to find solutions, more stricter heat rules, play like the Acapulco tournament, start at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Something would have to be done. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a problem down the road. Because you don't want tennis to come down to who can withstand the heat better. You know, my stream is crapping out over here. Hold on. All right, then Zverev comes back after the Melka timeout and runs down like a little short chip from Fritz and hits it for a winner cross court with his forehand. Add in. Wow. Draws Fritz in, down the line backhand pass, and that forehand flicker cross court for a winner. Stamina is a massive part of the game. I agree with you 100%, and it's certainly my stream is completely like, I don't know what's going on with my internet over here. Zverev holds. Maybe I got too many things going on at the same time. I don't know. But Zverev holds. Yeah, of course, stamina is a big part of the game, and yes, you have to handle like tough conditions. But when it, see, the problem is that it's not just the players, the people sitting in the stands as well. When it comes to a point where you're literally endangering your health, I think that's where you start maybe looking for solutions, you know, because it's not fair to the players and not fair to the people sitting there and grilling themselves in the stands when it gets incredibly hot. And when guys are just taken out by the heat, it's not really stamina related. I don't know. At some point, it just becomes too dangerous to play. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Certainly, I appreciate. Yeah, listen, I've been here in Florida for 20 years. I've gotten used to the conditions. So think of all the players that train here or are from here. They're going to handle tough conditions better. Fritz misses the backhand there. It's 15-all. They're going to handle the conditions better, but still, I'm just telling you, you would not want to see a tournament in South Florida in the middle of the summer. It would not be fun. For anyone. Sitting there frying in the stands, and the players like struggling on the court. 30-15, Fritz and Pegula Sabalenka warming up. 40-15, Fritz. I think the solution is simple. Within a smaller draw, you have to play at a later time. And I know this could create problems. Matches can go on in the middle of the night, but tournament in Acapulco does it really well. I don't know if this is possible to do at a Grand Slam. Probably not, but... And I'm not saying that this is necessarily unplayable, what's going on right now in Halle, but I just feel like the temperatures can get worse too, you know what I mean? They can be worse. So let's see how Zverev recovers from whatever is going on. It's 89, clarity, 89 degrees. .89 degrees in Halle right now. It looks overcast in Berlin. Let's see if Sabalenka can win this tiebreak. Sabalenka is the tiebreak queen. Pegula has been on fire in this match. She's such a great grass court player. And again, Sabalenka is like a little bit off right now. So it's going to be an interesting tiebreak because Pegula is the tiebreak queen and she's up 3-1 in this tiebreak. So they're playing the first point right now. Second serve from Sabalenka. I just heard there's a back issue for Zverev. A back problem. Doesn't look to be bothering him on the serves as he delivers an absolute monster serve there. 15-love. SMV from Zverev there, 30-love. Another big serve out wide. Follows it in, knocks off the volley. 3-2 for Pegula in the tiebreak. And it's her serve. Sabalenka fortunate to get this point. Hit a defensive forehand. She picked it up off the ground and hit it down the line really well. Zverev rock solid. Wide serve, forehand winner, inside out, 40-love. That's some hold from Zverev right there. Excellent tennis. Ace down the tee, 200 kilometers an hour, and it's 5-all. So if Sabalenka wins this set, that means I'll probably continue to live stream this match. So I guess I'm rooting for Sabalenka. That way I can do both. I can do Zverev, Fritz, and Yala Noskova. I don't have to log out of here because I'm into this match. I think it's very interesting. It's going to be a long one, I think. Unfortunate for Zverev because he was in control of the first set, got up a break, and then dropped his serve to love. It's going to be difficult to get a break on Fritz again. Fritz is tough to break on grass. 3-all tie break, Sabalenka Pegula. And Sabalenka up a mini break, 4-3. The very strong forehand. Pegula has not won a single point since they got back on the court. Was up 3-1. Ace out wide, Fritz 15 love. Do you believe Fritz is more capable to win this game? Look, I put him as a favorite yesterday. I thought he was going to take this one, but, you know, as I've discussed in the beginning of the stream, I think this is, what a hold from Fritz. Wow. Two really good holds from both guys. As I've discussed early in the stream, I think Zverev, you know, he could make a statement here and separate himself from the rest of the tour, take this title, you know, reverse this loss streak to Fritz. But since he's struggling physically now, it's hard to say what will happen here. I don't know how severe his injury is. I heard back injury, but I don't know. 4-all, Sabalenka Pegula. Big serve from Sabalenka and a forehand put away 5-4. Exactly, maybe you guys can look it up. 20-something consecutive tiebreaks won, or something like that. It was absolutely insane. And this year, it's not quite as good. Like, she lost 2, but she's still, like, way above 500. I think she's, like, 7-2 in tiebreaks. And there she is with another forehand winner, 6-4 set point for Sabalenka. Like, that's unusual, even for the best tiebreak players, to have this incredible record in the tiebreaks. I think the best tiebreak players are, of course, over 500, but not even near Sabalenka's numbers last year and even this year. So it's crazy. Set point Sabalenka. And another forehand winner, the forehand on fire. And Sabalenka wins the set. We're going 3. We're going to be able to stay with Zverev, Fritz, guys. Good news. But the bad news is I got to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Okay, guys? I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. We're back. We haven't missed much other than monstrous serving from both guys. Easy hold from Zverev there at 5-6, and no mini breaks so far. Exceptional serving from both players. Something's going on with Zverev, though. His facial expressions, his body language, him not stopping on the bench on this changeover in the tiebreak. He's not feeling. There's something going on. The back injury or whatever it is. It's just something's going on with him. I think it's possible that he pulls the plug here if he loses the set. I think it's possible, guys. Big point right there. Still no mini breaks. 4-3 Zverev. Wednesday, 24th, temperatures are forecast to be 38 degrees. It's 100 degrees, 100.4. That is insane during the qualies in Wimbledon. That is insane, guys. Wow. But Fabio says it's going to cool off in the first week of Wimbledon. That's insane. Big hitting from Zverev in this rally. Very aggressive hitting. Making Fritz run. Comes in off a slice. Backhand volley. Very deep. Overhead put away. And this time the slice approach out worked. Last couple of times he came in off a slice. He lost the point. Pegula held the first game. Sabalenka serving. 30-all. And there's the first mini break for Zverev. 5-3. Zverev down to his knees. Gassed after that rally. Big serve from Fritz right there. 5-4. Zverev with the opportunity to serve out this set. 5-4. Way better visibility on the court now that the shadow is gone. I mean that the sun is gone. It's all shade now. And you can see the ball way better. Visibility in Halle compared to Berlin, way better in Berlin. Oh, that's an interesting winner from Zverev. Through the middle of the court, forehand winner. And set point Zverev right here, 6-4. Again, body language concerning though from Zverev. Very concerning. Pegula with the break point. Can't convert. Sabalenka saves it. Back to deuce. And there's a set for Zverev with the fist pump towards the bench. He's going over towards the bench to have a chat with them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. They said back, but I don't know what's going on with him. That's a good question, Stu. Last week, Fred had 85 points to Shelton 72 and lost the match. Does this tell you that Fritz played better on that day, tennis scoring not rewarding the best player in the whole match? No, you have to look at it from this standpoint. The best player is the one that wins the clutch points. So think of it this way, like let's say somebody plays the worst tennis of their life, right? Is down a set and 2 breaks, right? But then all of a sudden it clicks, they come back, win a tight second set, and then maybe a tight third set. So on paper, you put that whole match together, you could say that the person that lost played better overall, but you can't look at it that way because in tennis, whoever wins the clutch points is the better player. So that's the beautiful thing about tennis, that you can win even though you've scored less points overall. You can make another comparison, Shelton, Fritz yesterday, you know? Shelton had 4 break points on the Fritz serve, 1 in the second set, 3 in the third set. Fritz had 0 break points on the Shelton serve, but Fritz was the better player. He came up with the goods when it mattered the most. Saved match point, saved those break points, and then won the third set tiebreak 7-3. Now, there could be situations where somebody completely gives the match away and completely chokes it away and gives the match away. That certainly can happen sometimes, but you don't see that often at the top level, at the elite level, you know. At this level, generally, like it's the clutchness of a player is what matters the most. And I think Zverev left the court again. Yeah, Stu, it is a brutal sport. Absolutely. There's so many things about tennis that make it so tough, you know. Really hard sport. That's funny, Fabio. Panata says that the devil invented tennis. That's funny. Yeah, tennis can be brutal that way. It can destroy you mentally. It can be also exhilarating and euphoric, and as if you're walking on cloud 9, you know what I mean? Like, it's that difference between winning and losing that makes you feel either great or horrible. But I think therein lies the challenge, to not let the highs get too high, not get the lows get too low. That applies to players of any level. It can make tennis more enjoyable that way, but it's definitely one of those things that are easier said than done. 51% humidity in Halle. Yeah, that part of Germany is humid because it's so flat up there and it rains all the time. So when the heat comes out, all that moisture, you know, it's coming up. It's quite humid, but that's 51%. That's nothing compared to living in Southeast Florida. It's way worse here compared to how humid it is in Germany. Alexandre, are these dudes playing shirtless? No, they have to wear shirts. They're not allowed to play shirtless. No. Is it allowed in U.S. public court for men to play shirtless? I don't know about that. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I think it probably is. Pagula up a break in the third. Wow. Zverev back on the court. Hey Tatara, how you doing? Good to see you in here. I saw Roddick say players are choosing not to play in UK grass tournaments because there's 40% tax on winnings. I heard that too, yeah. I heard that. I heard the same thing. I don't think the tax is much better in Germany, but Certainly better than in the UK, I think. Do you think Fritz will take the second set and make this match interesting? I think Zverev did a really good job hanging in there because that, he took that injury time out, serving at, what is it, 30 all or deuce at 4-3. He came back and played well, served well. So not much that Fritz could have done there, I guess, but I think Fritz didn't necessarily play a poor match early in the set. He was making some errors, but then got the break back. So I expect this to continue to be a battle. But I think looks like Zverev is going to be able to come through. Big serve from Zverev. 30 love, he's serving exceptionally well in this match. Sabalenka down love 3 in the third. Pegula with a nice chip return. Sabalenka with the serve and volley. Yeah, I expected Pegula to win this match. I don't think Sabalenka is playing anywhere near her best right now. So could we get a rematch of the 2025 Miami semifinals between Pegula and Ayala in the final? We shall see. I am going to be live streaming that match, and it looks like I'm going to have to cut this one, guys. I'm not going to be able to stay here till the end, unfortunately, as I've explained in the beginning of the live stream. I'm going to continue to commentate on this match though, but you're going to have to follow me to the next video, next live stream, which is the Ayala Noskova live stream, whenever that starts. And once we're there, we'll continue to keep an eye on this Zverev Fritz match, but I have not been able to figure out how to do a simultaneous live stream of two separate videos on YouTube featuring one thing. So for that reason, you're gonna have to follow me over to the Ayala match. Tatara is skipping the Zverev match. I don't blame you. It's okay, man. You like what you like. Not blaming you. What a forehand from Zverev there. Absolutely rips it cross court for a winner. That was a laser beam forehand right there. That thing was fast. Look at that. Absolutely ripped it. You can just change the subject on stream, why restart? Because this thumbnail says Zverev Fritz. You understand? So if people want to come back and watch my Ayala live stream and they're not going to click on Zverev Fritz later on, you understand? Or even while the Ayala match is going on. So we're going to have to go through that one. Because I didn't even plan to live stream this one, to be honest with you. It was only because of the rain delay in Berlin that I decided to do this. 30-15 Fritz. 40-15 ace. You know, Halle tennis reminds me of a little bit more of old school grass court tennis, where it's just is no breaks, a lot of tie breaks, a lot of aces, big serving, short points. That's how tennis used to be on grass. So some people dislike this. I'm in the camp of not being a huge fan of grass being too fast. And, you know, I remember those finals between Ivanisevic and Sampras in Wimbledon, and those some other matches as well. It just no rallies at all. I didn't find it that interesting. I'm actually a guy that appreciates that they slow down the grass, because you get a mixture of both. You get like some serving volley, you get some baseline, you get a little bit of everything. Do you think Sabalenka would make Wimbledon's second week semifinal like last year, or she loses early? We have to see where the draw comes out, but certainly this is very concerning from Sabalenka, what's been going on ever since her, the Sunshine double. It's concerning. She's not far from her best, but so is Rybakina, right? So things can change quickly. Those two were dominating tennis, and now both are struggling. And how this is going to reflect in Wimbledon, you never know. Because remember last year, 4-love Pegula, by the way, double break, 30-15. Last year, Swiatek won out of nowhere. She wasn't playing well prior to that. I mean, she did find her form a little bit at Roland Garros, made the semis there. So, Rybakina could turn it on, Sabalenka could turn it on, you never know. But certainly concerning from both of those players, what's happening with them right now. One all, 30 love on the Zverev serve. Alcaraz already broke the record for youngest player competing all slams. Is there any other reason for Sinner to rush Roland Garros prestige-wise? That's a very important title for Jannik Sinner. Is the only one that he hasn't won. I don't think he necessarily is comparing himself to Alcaraz all the time. I think he's doing his own thing. And he wants that tournament really badly, and he will get it multiple times. I'm certain of it that he's going to win multiple Roland Garros tournaments. But the comparison to Alcaraz, I don't think it's important for Sinner at all. $30.15. What are you watching on Tennis Channel? I'm watching on Tennis Channel on the app. I'm watching the stream. Can Altmaier win? Well, I talked about that earlier in the stream. It's going to be difficult. He's 0-4 against Tiafoe, and Tiafoe is playing well right now. It's going to be tough. But maybe with the help of the crowd, there could be a chance, but I think Tiafoe comes through that one. That's an incredible return from Fritz right there. Serving volley from Zverev. 40-30. Again, the body language from Zverev is terrible in this match due to whatever is going on physically with him. He's just lumbering around the court in between the points and just has a very bad expression on his face. I don't know if he's in pain or I don't know what's going on, but he's doing well though. Up a set, 2-1 in the second. But yeah, something's not right with Zverev. Can Zverev beat Jannik in Wimbledon? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Only if Jannik catches a really bad day or has physical limitations or something like that. Like, that could obviously change the situation a little bit, but when both guys are playing at their best, I'm picking Jannik. And I've talked about earlier, the beginning of the stream, if you watch it back, I've discussed in more detail surface speed and so on, and also how the Roland Garros win what that could mean down the road for Zverev in regards to his standing on the tour. So listen back to the beginning portion of the stream. Pegula with the match point. 5-love. This is going to be the triple break set right here. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. Oh my God, behind the back from Pegula on match point, but she can't make it. She's laughing. 30-40. What a player Pegula is. Amazing player. Especially on grass. Let's see if Sabalenka can get on the board here. Sabalenka dumps the forehand into the net, and Pegula breaks Sabalenka 3 times in the third set, wins the third set 6-0. Sabalenka is in a lot of trouble right now. Think about it. She went from like the most dominant player on tour, winning the Sunshine Double. Yes, she lost the Australian Open final. She lost the WTA final. But she won the US Open. I mean, she was #1 player in the world. No arguments there. And now this slump. She's not made it to a semifinal since then, I don't think. I'll have to look it up, but since the Sunshine Double, I don't think she's made it into a semifinal, did she? I mean, obviously she did here, but yeah, it's been poor. So that certainly makes it more interesting from the WTA, because there was some separation between the very top, for a while, and the rest of the tour. But I think the rest of the top 10 is like there's some chances there for some other players, like an Andreeva potentially, maybe even Pegula. Coco Gauff is not doing too well either, so maybe this is a chance for Pegula if she can do really well at Wimbledon. I don't know. It can get very interesting. 2-all. Something tells me this is going to be an absolute battle. This match here, Zverev Fritz. It's going to be an absolute battle. How do I watch the game? You got to get Tennis Channel or Tennis TV. Here's love 30. Zverev down to his knees. The danger zone right here. I just want to drop serve right now because Fritz is serving really well. Ever since he dropped that service game early in the first, he's been rock solid on his serve. Not a lot of opportunities for Zverev. Second serve from Zverev. That's a big second serve right there down the tee. That was a huge second serve. Wow. A lot of risk. Looks like Iga will win Wimbledon back-to-back. Rybakina and Sabalenka don't look quite right. I don't know about that. There's a lot of other players that are playing well right now. It's a big serve and a swinging forehand volley winner from Zverev and 30-all, just like that. Just like that. All right, Clarity, I'll see you later. See you next time. Forehand curler pass from Fritz, misses wide, 40-30. That was a good volley, though, from Zverev, very deep. So that was a difficult pass for Fritz right there. Zverev takes his tournament more serious than Roland Garros feels like. Well, listen, I mean, that certainly is not true. Zverev, that was the most important victory of Zverev's career by far. And he said that after Sinner lost, he didn't sleep the whole night. And then after Djokovic lost, he was panicking because he was the favorite at that point. So look, that was for sure the ultimate important tournament for Zverev. But having said that, I do think playing in Germany is very important for Zverev. And he wants to win this title very badly. Absolutely demolishes a forehand there. I mean, the forehand is ripping today from Zverev, but he is not in good shape physically. He is not doing well. He's struggling big time. He's pushing himself here, but he's not doing well. Maybe that explains why he's ripping forehands like that. Maybe he doesn't want to stay in the longer rallies. Okay, we're going to keep an eye out on Ayala and Noskova here to see when they will play. Maybe there is a little bit of a break in between these two matches. Let's see. And we'll jump into that one after the warm-up, okay? So we'll stay here as long as possible. 10:50 is going to start soon, okay? All right. We'll keep an eye on it, guys. Big serve from Fritz right there, 15-love. Like I said, I think this match is going to be absolutely brutal. That's like a kick ace from Fritz right there. Very interesting. 30-love. It's like old school grass court tennis in Halle. Second serve, Zverev. It's too far back on that return. Dumps it into the net. 40 love. And a love hold from Fritz. Again, body language from Zverev concerning. It's going to be interesting to see whether he can secure the victory playing like this, because he's kneeling down again. There's something going on physically. Whether he can put together a break of serve, whether he's going to continue to hold also, that's not a given. Or if he gets into a tiebreak, whether he can get some mini breaks and serve it out. It must be tough for Fritz to be in this situation too, because he knows that there's a huge opportunity, but Zverev is still able to rip balls and serve big, and it's like right there. It's not so easy to break this guy. He's got huge weapons. Noskova and Yala are on the court, but is it raining? Huh. They're waiting. They're waiting on something. I think it's raining in Berlin. Yeah, see that? So that is a bailout forehand shot from Zverev. Rips it. He wasn't positioned well. Sprays it wide. 15-all. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull this out, Zverev. I really don't know. I really don't know if he's going to be able to pull this out, guys. If he does, that'll be something else. But again, a huge serve down the tee and backhand down the line approach shot, 30-15. It's just that he can keep the points so short and finish them so quickly on his own serve that even when in this condition, he's tough to put away for Fritz. First serve long, second serve. Another backhand approach shot, this time cross court to the Fritz backhand, who sails the backhand pass long, 40-15. Is Zverev tired? I don't think it's tiredness. There's something going on physically. I heard this is back. He left the court. I don't know what it is. To me, it looks like he's not feeling well. But another great hold from Zverev, though. A lot of first serves. Up 4-3. Can Zverev blast a couple of returns and get the break? Wow. And it's raining, but Iyala and Noskova are still on the court. Balkans have umbrellas over them. I don't know what they're waiting for. Maybe the forecast is saying it's going to go away. quite a contrast between Halle and Berlin in weather, and they're leaving the court now. Yala and Noskova, so they're not going to be starting yet, which is good for this live stream. If you're interested in this one will keep going, because I was going to turn this one off once this one started. It's sunny and hot in Halle, but it's raining in Berlin. But it's quite far away, those two places. They're not close. I would probably about 5 hours by car. Oh, okay, True Tennis Vibe. You heard that Zverev took shots in the back to play RG, and I heard this is back injury here. So, yeah, that's tough. Sabalenka got bageled again in third set. I don't remember, where did she get bageled before? Sabalenka. Let's see. Where did she get bageled before? In third set. Oh, yeah, Schneider. How can I forget? Roland Garros, Schneider. That's right. I covered that match. Yeah. Yeah, there's something going on with Sabalenka, no doubt about it. You could even see it in the Bartunkova match. That match, she, quite frankly, had no business winning. Bartunkova was up 6-2, 4-love in that one. If second set goes to tiebreak, who will have the edge? I think the edge right now is for Fritz, but it's not easy playing a injured or opponent who's not feeling well. That's tricky in tennis, you know? But certainly Fritz right now, all he needs is like for Zverev to miss a few serves in the service game and to give him a couple of errors, and he can get the break, and that'll be it. Zverev absolutely blasting the ball right now. Hitting so hard, it's incredible. And he wins the point. 15-all. This is some of the most aggressive shots from the baseline that I've seen from Zverev ever. He's absolutely demolishing the ball right now. Big serve from Fritz though, 30-15. And the tarp is going back over the court in Berlin, so it looks like they won't be starting for a while. Second serve, Fritz. Interesting. Fritz runs down a short ball, a let cord, and hits a down the line slice. Zverev has the open court, but a very difficult volley from the baseline that he overhits long, 40-15. And an ace, another easy hold for Fritz. Zverev nowhere near a break. Pretty much ever since he broke him in the first set, Fritz has been rock solid on his serve. Rock solid. Big serve from Zverev, but way long. Second serve. Let's see if Fritz can do something in this service game. Double fault. Another humongous second serve. Like no sense of safety there or whatever or whatsoever. It just completely hit it like a first serve. Misses it, love 15. You would think that Zverev can't continue like this, you know, playing like this. It's going to fall apart at some point in this match because this is not his game, right? He's not a low percentage player. Second serve again. And he sprays the backhand. That's what I was talking about. Eventually, like, Zverev will give him something, like a double fault, unforced error, right here. To use the opportunity for Fritz, love 30. Let's see if Zverev can claw out of this. Again, just like I said in the first set, I feel like if Zverev loses this set, he might pull out, actually. If he had lost the first set, I thought he might have pulled out. Misses the serve again. Second serve. Long rally. Zverev again ripping. Fritz holding his own. Zverev unloading on his forehand like you can't believe. Fritz holding his own. Gets a looper and hits a winner. Love 40. Exceptional rally from Fritz. And again, Zverev down to his knees. Pamela, you gotta get Tennis Channel to watch this or get Tennis TV. If you're in the US, you gotta get those things. Either on the TV channel, the Tennis Channel in your package, or you can subscribe to the streaming service of Tennis Channel or Tennis TV, and you can watch this. Was he going to get a time violation here? Or he's going to come and get a second serve here. That's brutal. That's brutal. That is brutal right there. Second serve for Zverev. That's tough. Yeah. Like I said, you can't continue playing like this, especially if it's not your game style. There's Zverev just a wild forehand error. Love break for Fritz. I'm telling you, I think if Fritz holds the next game, I think Zverev might pull the ripcord on this one. He's not, something's going on with him physically. He's not right. And yeah, again, this is not Zverev's game style to play this low percentage and to play this fast. And there's no way he could have kept that up for the whole match. This was expected. True Tennis Vibe says, I already talked about this, didn't I? Nick Alcaraz already broke the record for youngest player competing all slams. Is there any other reason for Sinner to rush Roland Garros prestige-wise? Listen, I don't think Yannick Sinner is thinking about Roland Garros right now. You know, he's going to be thinking about it next year during the clay court season. And like I said, he's going to win that tournament multiple times. I don't know whether Sinner is even aware of that record, and it's for sure of no importance to him. And rushing to win something, I don't know if you can look at it that way. Like, you want to win the tournament you enter. Like, like you don't enter a tournament not to win it, especially if you're Yannick Sinner. So he's going to get Roland Garros not once, but multiple times. Like, I'm certain of it. It makes no sense to talk about who's going to win it next year. Let's focus on the Wimbledon. And Sinner certainly is not thinking about Roland Garros. He's thinking about Wimbledon. Hey, Dynasty Warrior, what happened with Zverev? I just arrived. Well, went up a break in the first set, 3-1. And then it's weird, like weird body language, kind of sluggish in between points. And then on his own service game, I think 4-3, 30-all or deuce, he left the court for a medical timeout. And ever since he's come back, he's just been blasting balls, playing very aggressive, and just struggling in between the points on changeovers. There's something going on physically. I think it might be his back. But he still managed to get very close, even though, up to that last service game, he's been able to hold serve and win the first set, most impressively. And here it's, again, backhand winner from Zverev, love 15. He's been playing way, way more aggressive than normal, like blasting shots. He probably doesn't want to be in long rallies. And there it is, another forehand blast, this time from way behind the baseline, off the court. Love 30. What a crazy match. Okay, so it takes another huge cut on the forehand, but misses it. It clips the net and goes wide. 15-30. No worries, Tennis 5, 2 Tennis 5. Don't worry about it. Yeah, if you don't hear it, I don't mind. I don't mind you asking multiple times. It's all good. Another forehand blast from Zverev, an absolute rip, but he misses again. Inside out, 30-all. Yeah, DB Sam, I actually thought about this. Maybe this helps Zverev to find such game style in him that he has never found before. In a way, this is a good representation of what Zverev's game would look like. And again, it's like your identity as a player. You can't lose that. So this is not, when Zverev plays like this, he has to selectively play like this, but not like the whole time, because he'll lose his identity as a player, and he will not be anywhere near his normal level. That's what people need to understand. It's like when they used to say, like, "Oh, Zverev is so passive. He should just rip and hit hard." Maybe that's just not his identity as a player. Have you thought about that? And if he played like that, he wouldn't do well, and maybe there's a reason why he doesn't play like that. And Zverev blasts another forehand inside out wide. Fritz gets the second set 6-4. Let's see if Zverev pulls the ripcord or if he will keep going. Yeah, again, this game style selectively he has to access it, not like just all out blast fest. It's not gonna work for him. It's not. All right, guys. Let's take a little break. It looks like Zverev is going to keep going here. He's going off the court for another medical, or to change his clothes or whatever. He's not looking good at all. Man, his body language is so bad. All right, let's take a little break. We'll be right back, guys, okay? Noskova Ayala, rain delay, so that's not going to be on for a while. the most insane break that I've seen in a long time. 10-minute break between the second set and the third set. It appears that Zverev has a back problem. So we shall see what happens. Conditions certainly are difficult as well. Very hot in Germany today. Not in Berlin, it's raining right now, but in Halle, still very hot. But the court being shaded now is going to certainly help. Altmaier warming up for his semifinal match against TFO with Dustin Brown on his side. Great win for Cerundolo, by the way, taking out Nakashima. He will play the winner of Humbert Paul. It's a great match going on right now. I think Humbert can be a phenomenal grass court player. He's got the game to go very deep in Wimbledon. That's a player you want to look out for. I think coming through that Medjedovic match was so important for him. He saved 4 match points, serving at 5-6 in the second, love 40, and then saved another match point on ad out and destroyed Hijikata in the next match, 2-1. So I think coming through Paul is going to be very difficult. I think they're head-to-head. Let me check. I think it's in the 3-love Paul or something like that. Let me check. So it's going to be a tough one for Humbert, but if he manages to come through that, I think it's going to be a big boost for him, confidence-wise. Let's check here. At the head, not available. Okay. Hold on a second. All right, they're back on the court, guys. Yeah, 2-love for Paul head-to-head. But last 2 matches were in 2024 and 2023. Indian Wells and Cincinnati, both straight sets for Tommy Paul. So Humbert with a chance for sure. And being a lefty on grass, that makes it very difficult for the opponent. So a guy to look out for in Wimbledon for sure. Hugo Humbert. Tommy Paul as well, of course. I think whoever comes through this one will be the favorite against Cerundolo in the final. But great to see Cerundolo, who's had a little bit of an off year, with the exception of the Buenos Aires, I think, where he took the title, right? He did play well there, but there's been some disappointing matches from Cerundolo this year, especially on clay. So good to see him to go in a final of Queens. Zverev, strong start in the third, 30-love. Looking a little bit better, Zverev, body language-wise. And he's come out with a taping on his left leg, like a bandage. I don't remember that being there before. Maybe it was, I don't know. 40-love. Second serve. Very good return from Fritz. Another great return from Fritz. From 40 love to 40-30. Looks like the sun is out in Berlin, so I can expect them to get on the court once it's dried up. Tarp is still up though. Another great return from Fritz. Deep chip, but he misses a forehand inside in, and Zverev holds 1-0. We expected a long battle, and we got a long battle between Fritz and Zverev. Oh yeah, the sun is out in Berlin. They will be back on the court, I think, soon. Second serve from Fritz. Zverev blasts a return, dumps it into the net, 15 love. Let's see if Zverev is willing to get into the rally a little bit more in this set, or if he's going to continue to take huge risks. He's going to continue to take huge risks. That return was incredible. Cross-court rip return from Zverev. Fritz slips a little bit. Zverev with the open court forehand winner. 15-all. Another backhand blast from Zverev down the line. Fritz misses the forehand long. 15-30. Here's a small window for Zverev right here. Big serve from Fritz forces the return error. 30-all. Another big serve from Fritz. Out wide, 40-30. It's a nice rally from Fritz there. It's a curler forehand down the line. Zverev with the chip defensive response. Fritz hits a drop shot. Zverev concedes. Doesn't even run for it. And Fritz holds 1-all. So here's the thing. Will Zverev have a hiccup? Because I expect Fritz to continue to be solid on his serves. Will Zverev have a hiccup like he did in the second set and basically like gift a service game to Fritz? Or will he be solid on his serve and get into a tiebreak? Because I quite frankly don't see Zverev breaking the Fritz serve. Huge serve though from Zverev. That's how it was in the first set and the second set up to all the way up to that, was it 4-all game? Was the same thing. There's huge serving from Zverev and not much Fritz can do. Humongous backhand from Zverev right there. He's hitting the ball hard today. The court is being prepared in Berlin, guys. They will be on the court soon, I believe. Ace Zverev, 40 love. Absolutely blasting the forehand today, Zverev. To anyone that thinks Zverev doesn't have a good forehand or that he has a loopy, pushy forehand, take a look at his forehand in this match. He's hit some insane forehand winners. Like that last one, he hit a serve down the tee. Zverev hits a pretty good return inside in. Zverev runs and just blasts it down the line and completely demolishes that forehand, pulverizes it. Yeah, his forehand can be very hard if it wants it to be. Trust me. Two one. I'll be right back, guys. All right, Fritz serve, 2-1 Zverev, third set. Zverev misses the forehand long. 15 love. like I said earlier, the Halle tournament resembles a little bit more the old school grass court tennis. Even though without seeing some rallies here and there, we're seeing a lot of easy holds, you know, and the opponent having a difficulty to break serve. Who do I think will win this? I think Fritz, because of Zverev's physical conditioning. Prior to the match, I would have said Fritz too, but the way Zverev came out and got the early break, you know, I thought Zverev was going to take it, but the reason why I'm saying Fritz is because the way Zverev is playing is not his normal game, and I think he's going to have a hiccup in the service game at some point in this third set, potentially, and give like a double fault or a loose error like he did in the second set, and he will give the break to Fritz. But it could also easily go into a third set tiebreak, just because it's so tough to break on the surface. You know what I mean? There's another error from Zverev. 2-all. Third set. They're about to take the tarp off in Berlin. Is there an option to generate a transcript from your lives or just refer back or find mentions? That's a good question. I do timestamp my Q&As, lives. They're also live. I do timestamp those. I guess you could timestamp it. And I think there might be a transcript available somehow. I don't know. You have to look into it, but that's only for like people that want to watch this after the fact, which I think some people do, but I don't know. I really don't know. Dirty Love. It's a great return from Fritz right there. A big serve from Zverev down the tee. Fritz returns it well, but then completely mishandles a forehand, shanks it wide and long. 40 love. That's what I mean. A lot of love holds, a lot of easy service holds, not a lot of chances to break, not a lot of rallies. It's old school grass court tennis here in Halle. And love holds from Zverev, 3-2, third set. Pia Marie, yes, I'm waiting for Yala Noskova as well. And they're removing the tarp off the court. So, yeah, they're going to be starting soon. I would say probably like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, they should be able to start. I think what they'll do next is they'll blow dry the court once they've removed the tarp. Yeah, true tennis. It makes sense to do it that way, to timestamp a lot, but I just don't have the time right now to do that because that would take a tremendous amount of work on a 5-hour live stream to timestamp everything. I just don't have the work, just don't have the time. Would have to hire somebody to do that, and the question is, will it be worth to pay someone to do that. I don't know. I don't know if other people do that. If they timestamp a live afterwards. I think they probably do. I don't know. It's certainly something to think about. Yeah. One sec, guys. One sec. I'll be right back. All right, here we go. Fritz down 2-3 in the third. Serving. Second serve, it's in a rally. And Zverev again absolutely demolishing the backhand, demolishing the forehand cross court, and gets an error from Fritz, love 15. Here's another scenario. Can Zverev string together some good tennis and get the break off the Fritz serve? Certainly possible. And then serve this thing out. Certainly it's a possibility, but Fritz has been serving well. Been pretty clutch, so. Great serve down the tee there. Gets the service winner, 15-all. Ace from Fritz, 30-15. Great return from Zverev, though. Off a first serve, draws the error from Fritz, 30-all. Interesting. So now it's either going to be break point or game point. Let's see if Fritz can come up with some good serving here. He doesn't. First serve goes long. Second serve. Ooh, the forehand. That forehand from Fritz was so close to going out. He fell back on it. Hit it right on the baseline, I think, and then Zverev misses his backhand long. 40-30. That right there was an opportunity for Zverev. Big serve from Fritz, and there's a hold. 3-all. At this point, we might as well stay until the end of this, guys. What do you think? Because Yala and Noskova are probably going to start. They're blow drying the court right now, so it's probably going to be 10 minutes until they start. So we might as well. Oh, this says 4 o'clock, so it might be 20 minutes until they start. So we might as well stay until the end of this, to the bitter end of this match. It's another backhand winner from Zverev. He's playing very aggressive today. It's most likely due to his physical problems that he's having. He's unloading on some of these shots. 15 love. Ace Zverev, 30 love. $30 love. Oh my goodness, hold on. I got a problem here. After this game, I'm going to take a little break and get a charger for the iPad. Opti, op, Optides with a Z. Optides 445. The way Zverev is serving, it makes it to tie break. Fritz has no chance. Yes, however, in the second set, Zverev out of nowhere just handed the break to Fritz. Started with a double fault and just made mistakes. So you never know. But yeah, it's literally unbreakable right now. Zverev is serving well. Guys, I need to get a charger real quick. All right, we're back. 4-3. Question is this type of tennis entertaining when there's few chances to break, when the surface is so fast that guys hold easier? I don't think so. I think this is, makes it more difficult to watch. I'll be honest with you. I think Wimbledon did a good thing slowing the courts down, allowing baseliners to have a chance. I'm talking back in the 90s, a long time ago. But Halle is a different story. It's not quite like that, I wouldn't say, but it certainly is so fast that, you see a lot of tie breaks, see easy holds. Will we see holds until the end of this one, until the bitter end of this one? Let's see. Fritz serving down 3-4. They're still blowing the court over in Berlin. Second serve from Fritz. Zverev with just more of a regular rally there. He was keeping the ball in play a little bit more in this one. Ends up missing a forehand anyway. 15 love. What do you think about Ayala's matchup today? Do you think she takes it in 3? Well, I think it's going to be tough. It's going to depend on how Noskova serves and how Ayala serves. That's a tough shot for Zverev. It's the second time he's tested on that backhand overhead, misses it for the second time. 30 love. It's a nice lob there from Fritz. So if Noskova serves well and doesn't give Ayala chances to utilize her great second serve return, I think it's going to be tough for Ayala. And if Ayala doesn't serve well and gives a lot of second serves to Noskova, it's going to be tough. But if Ayala's first serve percentage is good, and if Noskova's first percentage is not that great, I do see a big chance for Ayala in this one. Big serve from Fritz right there, 40-15. How long has this match been? I mean, there's been a lot of breaks too. Let's take that into consideration. There's been a medical timeout from Zverev, then that long break prior to the third set. Very long break. Let's see how long, real quick. Hold on a second. 2 hours 33. And we're at 4-all, guys. Another comfortable hold. Isn't that crazy? So many comfortable holds in this match. What did you think about the FAA match? That was a thriller. Yeah, that was really entertaining. That third set tiebreak was crazy. Tiafoe was very clutch. And I always like guys coming through a match like that after they had lost a tough match. So that's why I said with Humbert, he had that horrible match against Atman in Madrid, and then he comes through the Medjedovic match, and then Tiafoe had a very tough loss against Arnaldi. He comes through this one. So I like when tennis kind of evens itself out that way. I call that tennis equilibrium. So yeah, certainly FAA in a dark spot right now in his career, even though he's ranked, what is he, ranked 4 or 5 in the world? He's not in a good place right now. That's a beautiful rally from Fritz with a nice backhand down the line. Love 15. Will you be live when the draws come out for Wimbledon? No, I'm not going to live stream that. I'm not going to live stream the draw ceremony, but I will make a prediction video where I fill out the draw. That I will do, for sure. But just remember, I wait until the qualifiers are placed to do that. Second serve Zverev. This will be interesting, guys. This next point. Zverev ripping. What a rip on the forehand. Did you see the camera angle right from behind? He unloaded on that thing. Wow. None of that loopy topspin forehand that he sometimes hits. He's completely blasting today. Big first serve, good return from Fritz, drop shot from Zverev. Fritz runs it down, goes down the line, and Zverev with the 2 and a backhand down the line pass, 30-15. Sabalenka got bageled today in the third. 2, you were so right yesterday about her being in a bad form. I don't know how she will do in Wimbledon. Yeah, it's going to be a big question mark for Sabalenka. It's going to be really tough. She's not in a good spot right now. Some concerning score lines too, you know. People have pointed out she lost 2 matches in a row, 6-0 in the third. That's a beautiful point from Zverev right there. Closes in, puts the forehand volley away, 40-15. Tony Paul, set point against Humbert, 5-3, 40-15. And a 15 hold from Zverev, pumping his fist. You know, whatever is going on bothering Zverev, I mean, kudos to him from toughing this one out, because I thought he might pull the ripcord in that first set. Didn't look good. We're nearing the end, guys, of this one. Who will win this match? I don't know. I don't know. You guys keep asking. I think Fritz. I got the feeling that Fritz will win it. Had a feeling before the match, and I still have a feeling Fritz will come through this one. But then again, Zverev is a different beast right now. Like I've discussed earlier in the stream, I think Zverev might separate himself from these other guys that are behind him in the rankings. And he starts right here by reversing this losing streak to Fritz. So Certainly you can make an argument for Zverev too. Will you stay and watch Yala? No, I will be there for Yala. That was my original plan, actually, because they were supposed to play at 8 a.m. But it rained in Berlin, so I decided to stream this. So I'm just waiting on the court to be ready. It looks like it's ready. They're going to come out soon, and they're going to warm up in about 8 minutes or so. All right, Fritz serving to stay in the match. And another great serve from Fritz. 15-love. Thank you, I can't say your name. Bharat. I can't say your name, but yeah, thank you. Great tennis country of India. I'm a primary football fan, but tennis is my third favorite sport. You produce a lot of intuitive tennis content. Thanks. I do produce a lot of content. I do, certainly do. And I cover the intuitive tennis methodology in a lot of my videos. Will we see another love hold here from Fritz? I think we will. It's a lot of easy holds in this one. And there it is, another love hold. We're at 5-all. We're nearing the bitter end to this match, guys. We're almost at the end. Now, that might sound negative. I don't mean it that way, but it's been an interesting match. I wouldn't call it high quality. It's been affected by Zverev's physical problems. And just generally this type of tennis of, no rallies, easy holds, in my opinion, doesn't make it that entertaining. However, once you get to like the finishing stages of the sets, when it gets in tie breaks and stuff, it does certainly get exciting. So we're about to enter the excitement zone in this one. There's a big return right there from Fritz. He's hit quite a few of those. T serve from Zverev and a two-handed backhand block return from Fritz. Very deep into the court. Not chipping as much as he normally does, Fritz. He's going after the return. Hold on a second. 1 second. I lost the stream here. I lost the stream. Hold on. 1 second. I lost the stream, guys. But I think I caught the Zverev, Fritz down the line backhand pass. Is that right? Are they going to replay it? Zverev comes in with the forehand. Oh, he did a Becker Hecht and a backhand pass. He did a Becker Hecht, Zverev. He's really fighting in this one. Doesn't do enough with the volley, though, and Fritz with the comfortable down the line backhand pass, love 30. Fritz with a lot of control on his forehand in this rally. Hitting very central. Both guys hitting central. Zverev goes to the Fritz backhand. Fritz returns it. Drop shot Zverev on the backhand side. Fritz runs it down, hits it short. Zverev doesn't do enough with it, and Fritz puts away the volley. It's love 40, 3 break chances. Whoa. Can you believe it? That's funny. Commentator said he hopes that Neuer jumps like that later tonight. Yeah. Who they're playing? Who's Germany playing? I don't even know. I don't even know. I got my eyes fixated on Croatia on Tuesday, guys. Zverev saves the first break point. The big first serve out wide and a swing volley winner. Let's see if... Oh, Ivory Coast. Okay, got it. Ivory Coast. That should be another 5-0 match or 6-0. And Zverev ace saves another break point, 30-40. Then a rally. And Zverev rips the forehand, goes long, goes down to his knees. And there's a break for Fritz. He will be serving for the match. See, the problem with Zverev is, as I've said before, it's not his game to play like this. It's not his identity. So don't know if he can maintain this type of game for the whole set without giving some errors to Fritz. He's just playing too aggressive today. But the thing due to his physical problems. So he's not doing this by choice, because he's doing it because he has to. He doesn't want to, expend too much energy or whatever is going on. I heard it's a back problem. So, like I said, I had a feeling for Fritz for a long time in this one, even prior to the match. And I think he will serve it out right now. Oh, okay, that's interesting. It's been raining and stormy here in Poland. I wonder what tomorrow will bring. The Bad Homburg tournament starts tomorrow. I live near the German and Berlin border. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay. Where is Bad Homburg? I forgot. Let me look it up on a map. Where's Bad Homburg? I think I've been there. Bad Homburg. Is that out east? Bad Homburg is... No, Bad Homburg is by Frankfurt. That's by Frankfurt, I think. Yeah, I've been to Bad Homburg. I played there, I think. That's not over by Berlin in Poland. I think the weather in Germany is supposed to be hot for the next 2 weeks or so, or next 10 days or so. It's supposed to be really hot. It's going to get super, super hot in the middle of next week. Going to go up to 100. It's going to be insane. Close to 100. And you know what? Like, if this is going to further complicate Zverev's head-to-head with Fritz, it's quite amazing that he's going to win 6 in a row. By the way, Ayala and Noskova are on the court, so we're going to be hopping over to that one soon. OJ Shawty says Fritz may take it here. He better. On this fast court, not being able to serve out a match, he would be kicking himself, let me tell you. Navarro or Noskova may withdraw from Bad Homburg. Well, I don't know about that. Maybe if they win the whole thing. Anna is back. Okay, glad to see you in here, Anna. $30 love. Another huge serve from Fritz out wide. Bounce overhead winner from Fritz, 40 love. Man, he's been serving amazingly well. Ever since he dropped the serve in the first set, where he made some unforced errors, like Fritz has been on point on serve. Thank you for the super chat, Marcus. I appreciate you, man. Who's your pick to win Women's Wimbledon? I like I always say, I got to wait till the draw comes out. I don't know. That's so tough. I've discussed some of it today. And Fritz goes for a drop shot. Zverev runs it down. He has an open court forehand pass. He misses it wide, 40-15. I've discussed today some of the struggles that some players are facing right now, like Rybakina and Sabalenka. Let's see how Iga plays in Bad Homburg. It's going to be tough, this one, to predict who's the winner. I got to wait till the draw comes out and really think about it. And yeah, I really can't tell you right now. Like the Rybakina, obviously one of the bigger favorites, but she's been so off lately. And Zverev misses the forehand volley, comes in. Fritz takes the match and now scores the 6th consecutive win against Zverev, which is incredible. Zverev, kudos to him from staying out here until the bitter end. You know, physically compromised. Let's see if he can get himself healthy for Wimbledon. But as I've said in yesterday's video, or the video from 2 days ago, this guy right here, Taylor Fritz, with Alcaraz being out, if he ends up on the bottom half of the draw, this guy can go all the way to the final of Wimbledon. He's one of the best grass court players in the world, even though he's not that comfortable at the net, which we can talk about in another video. But guys, Yala's about to start. I'm going to log out of here and catch me over on the other video, okay? So you got to leave this one, go to the other one, click on Yala Noskova, and I'll see you guys over there in like 5 minutes, okay?